All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Signatures and Finisher Podcast. I'm your host, D.S. Wall. And you guys, excuse me and Jamie do talk before the show. So you might have heard him say a little something. You might have heard me say something. So that's what we do. Stuff outside of the podcast, work stuff.
Basically, it's our rundown of the show for the most part because we
Yeah,
don't plan anything. It's just, hey, we're gonna talk about this, and we go.
it's
Very
wrestling.
high level over here.
Yeah. I do got some stuff jotting down, some notes, some things that I heard, some rumors. We're gonna talk about them. Um, right, for example, Raw was okay yesterday. We're gonna talk about Raw. We're gonna talk about some rumors. And before we do all that stuff, DS Walk, Jamie, Signature Finisher Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, talk about our show, and make sure you get that notification buzz when we do go live. Make sure you got tuned in. That's very important.
Chat with us.
Um,
We can be interactive. Did it
yeah,
last time. Worked out pretty well.
yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah.
Shout out to our UK follower.
Yeah, we're already international. We have like 3 followers, and we already made it international.
Hey man, we're moving up in the ranks.
We'll do it backwards. That's fine.
Yeah.
Instead of having a local home base here, we'll just start international and work our way back in.
Yeah, it works for me. Being in the UK. Hopefully, we'll be in Scotland, Ireland, Japan, France, Spain.
Yeah.
Before we get to North America, we're gonna shoot down to South America, to Mexico, Portuguese, all them. They then come back to North America.
Okay, I'm good with
Works
it.
for me.
I'm good with it.
Yeah. So before we get to WWE talk, make sure you guys April 16th, tune in to House of Glory. They're gonna be behind the Pearl Casino. They got a hell of a card coming up. You're gonna see the debut of Charlie, aka Dakota Sky. She's gonna make her House of Glory debut. Then you get to see Ricky Sosa versus Cash Flow, Amazing Red versus Bandito, and Brody King versus Zilla Fatu. There's a few matches. Big things going down in House of Glory. They might, just like JCW, they hot right now. So make sure you guys tune in. Jamie is.
I'm already set. Like, I've actually had to start writing down like certain shows that I have to watch so I can keep everything organized. There's only so many hours in the day, and this baby takes up like almost all of them for me. So now I have to like plan what I have to do. I can't just do things anymore.
I know, man. See, would we were blessed with the superstar of the show, Double J, and me with the overnight stuff, work, and I just can't wait to get rid of that. That's another topic for another day.
So what he's saying is like, subscribe, and share so that we can start doing like live reads. So we can
really live reads. And I might even write some.
There you go.
Or I just do what WWE do. I'm gonna use Chat GPT.
All you got to do is just track them all. Just record them all at once and just insert them. Just insert them at will, just like the radio. Just plop them in there.
Oh, definitely. I know how that goes.
I've seen it done firsthand. I know how it works.
Yeah, definitely. So where you want to start at? The rumor or WWE?
I think I want to start with
something different.
The backstage executives at WWE saying that AEW is a better show.
Yeah.
Have you seen those posts?
Yeah, I'm
They're
shocked
not wrong
by that. I'm shocked that they actually admitted that on backstage.
Well, it seems to be more the NXT camp, which, you got to have something to aspire to. It's always better to have somebody better than you because it gives you a threshold of where you need to be at.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, they basically referring to the wrestling is better.
Oh, 100%.
They're not talking about the overall show or the tapings or the storylines. Now they talking about just the general part of wrestling is better in AEW than in WWE because you're going to get wrestling in AEW because That's what they're known for, and that's what they do best.
Yeah, but like we talked about on the last show, it's only a matter of time. If AEW keeps going on the role that they're on, Tony will start putting more money into the production and everything else, which just means the show's going to get better. And TKO, unless they get directly challenged, and even then, I don't think they will. They're operating it like a hedge fund. They stripped all the money out of it, and they're trying to run it as cheap as possible to maximize their earnings. So it's not going to take a whole lot for AEW to get on their level at this point. Hell, if TNA played their cards right, they could do it. If they actually got another investor or they just wanted to make a significant investment themselves into upping their production, you got a TV deal now, you might as well do it. I mean, for being as big budget and everything as WWE is at this point, their production value is pretty shit.
Well, again, I mean, what do we know? Endeavor is known for 100% doing a lot of cutbacks and working at a lower budget than they actually are. So, like, they will work like on a budget like they're freaking broke.
Well, just think of it this way: it's the same company that owns UFC. WNBA players make more than UFC fighters now.
Yeah.
Unless
That's
you're
true.
like top tier John Jones, Patty Pimblett, something like that, then you're getting out earned by a WNBA player that basically rides the bench.
Well, even the top tier WNBA players make more than UFC got.
Well, yeah, and if you're going dollar for dollar, like overall top 10 for sure, but I'm just saying on average, like you're not making money in the UFC unless you're one of the top guys. So WNBA players, for all their complaining, make more than UFC fighters.
Yeah.
For an unwatchable product. I didn't say that out loud.
Yeah, you did.
WNBA is so bad. It's so bad.
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about the WNBA on this show because we're gonna say that for another show.
It's so bad. All right, moving on.
And that was our WNBA talk, courtesy of Jamie.
That was off topic, but yes, it still counts.
It still counts. And remember, those are his opinions, not mine. I have different opinions about the WNBA, but not those type of opinions.
Bring the rim down a full foot, then we'll talk. Then you might have something watchable.
Anywho, I just think in TKO, between TKO, how they run the UFC and the WWE, they run it like a business, not like a sports entertainment business.
Well, look when Kevin Dunn was there. It was very cinematic. It was very grandiose. Now they try and do all these live shots, trying to make it look like a UFC fight in the middle of the match. And it looks awkward. There's no production value. They've basically gotten rid of the stage and everything else that they used to have just to have a wall of three essentially giant TVs. And all they ever put on them is the entrance videos. That's it.
Yeah, I don't have the problem with the camera shots. I know they're trying to go more on the sports side, which is I have no problem with. Everything else you're saying is valid. The only thing I have an issue with that is they really didn't come up any type of design for this type of stuff. I mean,
they're replacing all their pyro with light shows. I mean, look at Obafemi, the guy that you should be sinking a ton of money into. He has a laser light show for the first 10 seconds of his entrance. No pyro, no nothing. Just a couple little green beams shooting around.
I mean, I think Cody got pyro.
Yeah, but he had to have that in his contract.
Yeah.
Like if you actually look it up, he actually negotiated that into his contract that they wouldn't skimp on his pyro.
Yeah.
But it just, for what they have, they're operating like it's pure capitalism. They're stripping out all the value of it to try and maximize their profit as much as possible.
Well, yeah. What's a lot of people's slogan these days? Less is more.
Not when it comes to the entertainment dollar. Why do entertainers get to charge so much money? because you're providing value. You're taking them out of real life. You're basically charging money. You're paying me to entertain you. So that's what I should be doing. WWE is not entertaining, and it hasn't been entertaining for a long time. I've been hate watching this show for a year now.
Oh, then you really gonna hate watching now with the rumors that's coming out.
Oh, I know. It's not getting any better anytime soon.
Yeah, I know. And it just goes back to what we all said about TKO and Endeavor. They should not be in the sports entertainment business. They
No.
should not be anywhere close to professional wrestling. And they shouldn't. It's you're killing. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and say they already killed the fan base. They killed the fan base with the ticket prices, going to live events, going to well, they ain't no house shows no more because they got rid of those. Really,
They've killed the adult fan base. They've catered to the little kid base, which they know it's just like Disney. If you cater to the little kids, the parents have to pay money to it because the little kids are going to want to go. So now the parents have to go because you can't send your 6-year-old to a wrestling event. So you automatically get the parents involved, at least one of them. So now you're selling an extra ticket. So that's the whole key. That's why the iPhone, for example, looks like a kid's toy. It operates like a kid's toy. It's all brightly colored. It's non-functional. It's far behind the times when it comes to Android or anything like that, but it operates like a kid's toy. You sell it to kids when they're young, and now you have a lifelong customer. That's why you push drugs to little kids, because then you have a lifelong customer until they overdose.
He said that out loud.
I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah. So I was about to say, I prefer the iPhone to the government phone. It's the government phone, but
the iPhone is the government phone, not Android.
That's what I'm talking about. The iPhone is the government phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the government phone. They can always tap in and see what's going on.
100%.
Yeah. I don't have so let me ask you a question. You have a baby and in 5-6 years, Double J gonna ask you or me to take her to the wrestling event. And if Endeavor is still running WWE, would you take her?
That's called I will negotiate something that she would want more. Like you could pay me to go. Like if I was getting paid to actually go see these, I would. But at this point, I have no interest. There's nobody besides, unless you were going to give me like a women's evolution card where I could just go see the women I want to see. You can't pay me, or you could pay me. I keep saying that backwards.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay any amount of money to go to a Raw, SmackDown. I wouldn't go, even if you gave me free tickets right now and said go to WrestleMania, I'd be like, no, I'm good.
So that means you wouldn't take Jessica to a live event.
I mean, she would be able to twist my finger into going for sure. But as of now, I could say I would try and negotiate something that she would want more that I would be willing to do than have to suffer through that. Like right now, there's a WrestleMania about to happen where Io Sky hasn't even been announced for a match yet.
No, but we did see the direction that they're heading in with it.
And it's terrible.
Yes.
So again, I go back to you couldn't even give me free tickets to go to WrestleMania right now. Because I've been to Vegas multiple times. I don't even like Vegas that much.
Well, you can give me a free ticket, I'll go. Because I'm gonna have my press pass with me. As long as I get to get some interviews, get some questions for the podcast out, you damn right I'm going.
Well, you can have fun.
You coming
I'm
too?
the opinion piece.
You coming too?
Piece.
I need a camera guy.
I see how it is.
Yes, you're coming too because I need a camera guy. Okay, so the rumor that I heard yesterday, day before, is that the TKO which we already don't know anything about wrestling, but the rumor is that they want the Bloodline to come back along with The Rock. This might happen because if you watch Raw the last few weeks, they had dropped little eggs here, little teases here. Like the Usos was in front of the Rock's bus when they was talking to LA Knight, um, and other clues here and there. Them interfering with the CM Punk or Roman Reigns situation, like yesterday, for example, Jay Uso yelled out instructions for Roman to go get him. He laid out Punk, which
Yeah, your supposed top guy is now taking instructions from a wannabe main event guy. Like it made no sense.
no. He's the hype
Oh,
man.
he did.
No. He's the hype man. Come on now. He took instructions from the hype man, the one that got
That
anger
doesn't make it
issues.
sound any better.
I wasn't trying to make it sound better.
I mean, Jimmy looks more credible than Jey Uso does.
Hey
It's like
man,
they're
look.
trying to do something with Jey Uso to make him look important. It's like, dude, shut up.
Hey,
You
look.
have a Jerry curl. Just stop talking.
Those emotions came out. The hype man was pissed. He's like, get him. Roman heard him. He took it. Took instructions. Like, gotcha.
It's turned into such a terrible story. It wasn't interesting before. Now it's just turning into something terrible.
I
Because you can
don't.
tell they don't have any direction for it. I mean, Roman Reigns dropped the ball last week because he was supposed to mention about Larry being dead and burying him next to Larry, but he didn't want to go that far, so that's why he changed it to "you're old." That's why it came off so bad because he audibled at the last second, and that's where you're like, really? He punched him because he got called old? Like, and then CM Punk goes even further yesterday to completely kill the momentum of that by saying, "Yeah, I'm old. Of course I'm old." Which again, if you're old, oh, I'm gonna get upset and punch you. No, it's because Roman Reigns deviated from what he was supposed to say.
I mean, I don't have no issue with Roman Reigns
It,
deviating.
it just it
It
just
just,
comes off. It makes it look stupid. The whole thing is just dumb.
yeah,
They
it
have
did.
no reason to be wrestling.
Yeah, it didn't make sense when he said, "Oh," but if he gonna deviate, I'm surprised CM Punk didn't deviate as well. But hey, it just I don't know too many people get punched in the face being called old. I'm just all I'm saying. That's all you saying too.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And now you're just ingraining the Usos into it even more because again, you have two people that have belts that don't even have a match for WrestleMania. How can we get our tag team champions involved in something somehow? Well, the only thing that's made money for the WWE in the last few years is the bloodline. So let's try and force that back together when none of them really have any interest in doing anything together.
Right. And Usos versus Division next week in the North. I mean, I'm about to say the North American street fight, in the New York City street fight, in which it is just going to be just a fight. Let
Yeah.
me ask you something. These street fights, they just not to say. I remember a street fights where it just be in the back, outside in the back somewhere. It just be people will be
Oh yeah,
around.
you slam them into the cars and everything out in
And
the back, past the locker rooms. Now it's basically anything that goes outside of the ring is a street fight.
nah, you could have just said that. No, but I do expect the Usos to drop the titles to the Division next week because
They got to do something with the vision, make them look
yeah,
credible.
yeah, and you kind of figured once Paul Heyman said, "Hey, Vision, Usos, Street Fight, we beat them." You would think that he was trying to set that match up for WrestleMania, but not that he set it up for next weekend for Madison Square Garden, and I expect the Vision to win. I expect
So
them to go into WrestleMania as tag team champions.
let's kind of deviate and go into SmackDown for a second. So
Okay.
yesterday on Raw, you had CM Punk,
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns,
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar,
Mm-hmm.
Obafemi,
Mm-hmm.
not to mention all the other guys, the
Right.
Pentas, things like that. You think you could have shown a little love and maybe moved two of those guys over to SmackDown leading up to WrestleMania? SmackDown has nothing to offer.
Which two you will move down to SmackDown?
Any of the two that you wanted to. You could have put
Pick
Roman and CM Punk back over on SmackDown. But like your four heaviest hitters basically in the company minus Cody are all sitting on one show.
so Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu not heavy hitters.
Jacob Fatu, not so much. Drew McIntyre is. Drew McIntyre is the best heel they have in the company. But I mean, look at the quality of the show. You booked all those guys on the same show. SmackDown doesn't get any love like that.
Well, that's because they truly trying to make SmackDown a freaking B show. They don't want to go back when SmackDown had the bloodline where there was the A show, there was the best show, that Raw was like the worst show, and that's your signature show, allegedly, your A show. So
Yeah.
they doing everything they can to make SmackDown a truly B show. And when I mean B,
Oh,
a
I
really
know.
bad show.
I know why. But when they start looking at why they can't get TV deals, why people don't want to do business with them long term, again, when one of your brands is having to broadcast on YouTube their biggest events, it's not a good sign of things to come. And that's not doom and gloom. That's just reality. ESPN, from the moment they got into that contract, was like, what did we walk into? You started hearing the reports. ESPN's not happy with the numbers, not happy with the numbers. And then WWE comes out, oh, no, they're very happy with the numbers. No, they're not. I don't know anybody. I know a lot of people that watch wrestling, and everybody does the same thing I do. You VP in it, or you sign up with a free trial of Fubo, because guess what?
Yeah.
If you're ever bored, it takes 2 minutes to get a Fubo account and get the PLE for free.
Yeah. Netflix at some point gonna come out not happy with numbers. Not only not happy with numbers, and remember, Netflix got an opt-out clause in this deal.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're not going to do that?
Raw's not bringing in great numbers.
No. This is well, when me and Jamie talking about it, we're not knocking the WWE in general as a company. Not them. Not them.
I was gonna say
them.
I am.
I mean, we are, but think about it. We're knocking the people who run WWE. We're knocking TKO on how they.
Oh yeah, this has nothing to do with performers. I mean, this is on
No.
creative and the actual executives of the company.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. They sold USA, Netflix, and ESPN, and who else I'm missing? Once Upon a Time, Peacock.
Yeah. Well, still, because they still have Saturday Night Main Events that they broadcast, so still Peacock.
Right. They sold them on a product that was a very hot product that everybody wanted to be in the business of professional wrestling. Yes, everybody wanted to be in the business of professional wrestling. Pre-TKO.
If you want to get blunt about it, you just did it at the very end. They wanted to do business with Vince McMahon's WWE. Not TKO's WWE.
If the WWE were bought by NBC, I think we would be getting the shows that we wanted. I think we would be getting the matches that we want.
Because I think it would probably be very much the same as what it is now if it was bought by NBC.
I don't know. Because NBC,
it's Comcast.
Yeah, but see, think about it. They've been in business with Vince McMahon for how long?
Yeah, but none of those people still work there. Like the original people he was in business with back in the 80s and 90s, they're all gone. They've done documentaries. That WrestleMania 9 documentary that they did on Peacock or whatever, all those guys are gone. The woman at USA that held them up for so long, she's gone. She doesn't work for USA anymore. So that's why it's like, realistically, they need to start showing that they can actually push ratings, or they're going to have a hard time getting a solid TV deal in the future. Because I guarantee Netflix isn't going to keep this deal around.
No, USA's not going to keep it around either.
Yeah,
USA been complaining about the lackluster storylines and about, hey, how come this show got more superstars than we just got developed?
Well, ever since TKO took over, they've treated USA as, oh, well, they've been there this whole time. They're going to take whatever we give them.
Right.
Instead of, being like, hey, you've worked with us for this long. I know we're new here, but we're going to do what we can to make this as good of a relationship as we can. They've basically treated them like, yeah, you've been here. We're just going to treat you like you're going to stay here. And USA doesn't have to.
No.
I mean,
I don't see
WWE's already had to have shows on the Sci-Fi Network before.
Yeah.
A la ECW. And we're not talking like, oh, the Olympics are on, so we have to shift over to Sci-Fi for 2 weeks. ECW was aired on Sci-Fi because they couldn't get a TV deal for it.
Yeah. So what do you think the USA gonna do with that contract? Nah, be good.
I mean, they're gonna have to do something to make the programming good because I watched it last night and it was like, eh. I mean,
But
Finn
see,
Balor to me was the highlight of the whole show.
yeah, he was, and I'm glad he came back because I think I would be pissed if he was gone for 2 weeks and then had no type of program with Dominic Mysterio.
I mean, at least it should have been a three-way match with Penta. If Penta would have won a three-way match between the three of them, I'd have been perfectly okay with it. Finn gets too wrapped up in beating the hell out of Dominic Mysterio and Penta gets the win, I'd be okay with that. But how are we going into WrestleMania and you have him drop the title like a month before WrestleMania?
Yeah, I'm not complaining about that.
I mean, Penta's got the title. I'm happy about it. Penta deserves to have a title. But Finn Balor needs to do more and deserves more than being in the mid card right now.
Well, he
So
should be
this
back.
should have been the push to get him into the main card, but clearly he got his two matches for BS PLEs that nobody cares about, and now he's back in the mid card.
Well, see, it goes back to your point. Finn Balor should go to SmackDown and be one of the heavy hitters on the main event scene.
Well, it's not like he gets to call a shot. LA Knight's been begging to go forever.
I mean, there is no place LA Knight to go.
LA Knight's got to do something to, like I keep saying, he's got to change his delivery.
Well, no, LA Knight got to change his whole. If he changes delivery, then he might as well change his whole gimmick.
Well, he needs to. I mean, you're like a split between Macho Man and The Rock. Like I told you a couple of weeks ago, I had it on, and Susie was like, "Is that The Rock?" She wasn't even looking at the TV. Just she heard the voice. She's like, "Is that The Rock?" I said, "No, that's LA Knight." And she didn't even watch wrestling. But like, he's got to do something, and until he does something, and they might not even let him do anything, he's going to be stuck where he is, which is basically a main event enhancement talent. He's just a new Jake the Snake.
Yeah, I mean, we talking about the guy who's been over what about 3 or 4 years.
Ever since he switched over from Max
if you want to
Dupree.
go, if you want to go, yeah, if you want to go longer than that, he's been over since NXT.
I mean, he was over in TNA, but
yeah, he was.
I mean, they made him do that Max Dupree thing, and when that fell flat, you know, he's been over since then. But they got a lot of problems. It's like looking at the Detroit Lions roster, and you're like, well, we could fix this one thing, and you're like, oh, but then there's these 50 things over here we got to fix. That hit a nerve.
Took me back to the days of the Lions were 16 when he said that. Just saying.
I'm not gonna say that. They're like a 9-8 team, like they were.
Yeah.
Their window's done.
Well, they had a nice run.
They had a nice little run. Yeah, it was nice.
If the WWE can do anything they need to address right now, it's the same thing I said about AEW. Character development. You got a lot of guys that like AEW, like we just talked about. Damn, I forgot his name already. LA Knight, who needs a refreshing gimmick. He needed them to develop his character all over again because he got to his pinnacle with this LA Knight game. He got to his pinnacle. He wrestled for the title. He's been United States champion. I can sit here and say, hey, he should have been IC champion. Maybe that would have done some good for him, but they're not gonna put that on him. So he needs a new change. They got a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers on that roster that need some character development. They're just as worse as AEW.
Well, the bad look on WWE with LA Knight is Jey Uso's very much the same thing. I've made fun of him for being like the worst created wrestler in any video game of all time because there's nothing original about Jey Uso. Coming out through the crowd, that's been done by multiple people before. The handing the glasses off to a little kid, that's a Bret Hart gimmick. Like everything he does is just
It's a ripoff.
is a ripoff of somebody else. LA Knight's not necessarily ripping anybody off, and the way you talk is the way you talk. Maybe he is turning it up to 12 or something like that, but like you sound like The Rock. You've got a catchphrase almost exactly like Macho Man. You wear the Macho Man colors doing the Slim Jim commercials. It's not helping you. Now, maybe WWE pushed him into those things to do that, but you have to come up with something to make yourself stand out. And where Jey Uso didn't have to do anything to stand out and was pushed into the spotlight, LA Knights had to continuously stay getting over while getting pushed back to the point that he holds up fan signs. And then they try and blur him out on replays of the shows and things like that, where the fans are wanting him to get pushed over, but WWE won't do it.
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of like on WWE's part, what are you trying to do here? You're rewarding one guy who is the most generic of all time. And that's the knock that you always hear on LA Knight, is that there's nothing special about him in the ring. The only thing I would say, he's got to stop doing that bounce up on the middle rope to the top rope thing, because he botches that more than he ever hits it. But at least he has a unique move set and he's entertaining in the ring. The Usos are the worst.
I would like to see him have a signature move that would go to his finishing move.
Well, that's what that whole bounce from the middle rope to the top rope thing is, but he misses it more than he hits it.
Yeah, he can keep that as part of his repertoire, but I would like to see him come have a better signature move, because it works. It's a good combination to have. Oh, I hate your signature. I'm going my finisher.
Even his finishers, it's almost the same as the Miz. You know, the skull cracking finale or whatever the hell it is.
Just done differently. Differently.
It's a terrible move. It's not entertaining. There's no spectacle to it. And I know the Miz hated it for a long time too. Seems like he's come to terms with it, but I've heard interviews back in the past where he hated it. He's like, this isn't a main event move. And really, it's just basically a forward-facing Russian leg sweep.
Yeah. And LA Knight, he just really just kind of just grinding you by your head and pulling you down, hit face to the mat.
Yeah. It's like a lazy RKO.
There you go. That's what I was getting to. That's what I was getting to.
I like LA Knight. But yeah, it's the Kevin Nash knocks he took personally, and I get it because he was pretty spot on with it. Like the things he was critiquing him on is things that you got to change if you want to take the next step. Yeah.
But what do Kevin Nash know? He's just a former wrestler, I guess.
Former terrible wrestler that is one of the highest paid of all time because of the people he ran with.
And he's good at critiquing wrestlers, you know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes he's on the spot. Sometimes he says really dumb shit, like the Javon Evans stuff that we talked about before.
Yeah. Speaking of Javon Evans, I'm kind of curious about this thing between him and Kofi Kingston. I'm wondering if it's going to lead to a match, or is it going to lead to Kofi splitting from Xavier Woods?
Is Woods hurt?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he got hurt, but I don't remember what's wrong with him. But the New Day thing, it's run its course.
It's over.
They got to do something. Either that or both those guys are just going to get released.
I would love to see New Day stay as a tag team, but it goes back to, look, you don't have a third guy. You don't have a guy like Big E. Let's put it like that. You don't have a Big E type guy.
They wouldn't even need a third guy if they cared about tag team wrestling. If WWE cared about actually having a valid, real tag team division. Kofi Kingston had his time. He had the summer of Kofi, and what was that? Is that 2016? 15?
I think it was 16.
But, you know, he had his run. Xavier Woods
didn't have his run yet.
Probably not going to happen, bud. But you had all your tag titles with the New Day. You'll go in as a Hall of Famer with the New Day, blah, blah, blah. So you'll have that to look forward to.
I would like to see both guys get their singles run.
Xavier Woods has that problem that he's short. And Triple H, more than Vince McMahon, hates short guys.
That's why he'll fit good over there, Triple H.
I mean, Xavier Woods, if you look at him, the dude's pretty jacked, but he's short. Yeah, so, in Triple H's world, you're no good to anybody if you're short.
Hey, whatever. But I will. I mean, Kofi get his singles run because Kofi before he became a tag team wrestler, he had like you said he had a very successful single run as a mid card. Now that's the
I mean,
main
he's got to
event
bring
as
the
a mid
accent
card.
back if he's going to be a singles wrestler.
And it's too late for that, man. You can't bring that African
That
accent
was why
back.
it was sarcastic.
Yeah, you can't
I
you
mean, unless
can't.
you're Apollo Cruz and they have you, one day you're Nigerian, one day you're not, one day you're Nigerian again. They like to do that with him. Why am I so out of focus all of a sudden?
I don't know because maybe you said he's maybe because that Apollo Crews sometimes Nigerian, sometimes he's black.
I mean,
but
I'm not the one that tells
there's
him to
no
do that.
lies. There's no lies there though.
I was going to
There's
say, I'm
no
not the one
lies.
telling him to do that. That's WWE.
Oh, we know that. There's no lies detected on that. Hey, Apollo, you're Nigerian today. What about
Yeah,
next week?
he was like, you a Nigerian like guerrilla war chief. And I'm like, this is really what you're going with? Probably not the best look, but
and the next week you're a black guy.
yeah.
Oh, so what you trying to say? I ain't black all the time? I can imagine Bruce Pritchard trying to answer that question.
I mean, WWE is the same company that told Muhammad Hassan to act like a terrorist and then fired him for being too good at acting like a terrorist.
Yeah, I ain't mean to laugh at that, but that is facts, factually
I
true.
love Muhammad Hassan. He was my absolute favorite when he was around. That dude had a look. He could wrestle. He was like the best heel WWE had. And then they're like, oh, we're going to run this thing where you kidnap the Undertaker in the UK. Oh, guess what? There was a terrorist bombing. You're fired. Like, he's the one that blew up the bomb. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like he has something to do with that. Y'all who told me he act like a terrorist.
He's such a terrorist that he's like a high school principal now. Like,
yeah.
Oy.
Yeah.
The good times of WWE.
So, yeah. So another rumors out there, and remember, everybody, this is just rumors. Allegedly, these things ain't gonna happen. Don't know if these things are going to happen, but that's why they call it rumors, and that's why we say allegedly on this show. If they do happen, turn out to be true.
Wrestling rumors usually are a lot like stereotypes. They're usually pretty
Spot
grounded in
on.
facts. Like, unless it's
So,
something that's just completely out there, like, and it's just completely out. Wrestling rumors are usually like stereotypes. They're grounded in fact.
Yeah. So another rumor is that the plan for WrestleMania for Rhea Ripley is for her to go over. However, she's going to have some help. The help is Io Sky and return to Bianca Belair with 10 or 9 fingers, don't know yet. And who's the other one? Yeah, I said that out loud. Io Sky, Bianca, and I forgot that it's supposed to be another person, another wrestler. So it's supposed to be those. What they're doing is they're trying to match up Jade's.
Well, it's that they're trying to cover for the fact that
Yeah.
they're trying to protect Jade from looking like garbage.
Yeah. So since they know this matches between both women is not
But
going
yet
to be.
you'd be lining up a B squad team versus your all-star A team. Like, that doesn't even make sense. B-Fab and Michin are going to be compared to Bianca Belair and Io
Sky. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Like, you haven't done anything to build up B-Fab or Michin to put them on that level.
Nah. And this is just, like I said, allegedly, just rumors that those two ladies going to be joining Rhea at some point, helping her defeat Jade. I guess that as it was put, Jade is this evil force. She's so powerful that nobody can beat her.
Which is complete and utter garbage. Like, that whole storyline, if you wanted to put 2 women with her, no problem. Because, yeah, she needs to be protected. You need to have somebody take those losses to make her still look decent. On top of the fact, Michin can talk. B-Fab can talk. Jade, she's got her on that bitch line, and past that, she can't think for herself. So you need somebody that can do the talking, somebody to take the beatings for her so that she can come in and do her 3 power moves of doom and move on. But you then pick the 2 people that she was beating up the most to join that group. Not to mention that they're basically your D-level talent in the women's locker room that you treat them like. Not that they are, but that's what you treat them like. And then you're going to put them in WrestleMania against what would be a Bianca Belair and an Io Sky, which Io has basically been your top women's talent next to Tiffany in the last year, and now Stephanie. And then Bianca, who's going to come back to a hero's welcome. And then you have Rhea, who is going to take the win, but you can't let Rhea dominate her because that's going to kill all the momentum for Jade and everything you've tried to accomplish. Like, it's a whole cluster of shit. It's terrible storytelling.
Yeah, and on the top of that, I just thought about who they should have put Jade with. I mean, I don't think it would have been good, but it would have made some sense because of their size and their domination. Nia Jackson, Last Legend.
Yeah, but they need to save that for Nia versus Jade.
Because we're going to get that match down the road.
It's going to happen, and you're going to see that it's Jade doing a bunch of punches and kicks because she ain't going to be strong enough to pick up Nia. None of them are.
Actually, I'm waiting on Nia Jax versus Last Legend because we definitely.
That match is going to happen probably by next WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And it has to.
And everybody's like waiting on for Bianca versus Jade. Keep waiting. Keep waiting.
Well, if I'm Jade, I'm doing everything I can to get better because Last Legend is just better.
Oh yeah, they're going to You heard me say that before. They're going to put the title on Last Legend because they did this test run with Jade with the title, and she has done a thing with it. That's not her fault though. That's how the WWE works. If you're a champion for the first 100 days as champion, you're not going to do nothing. They're going to see. They're doing this to see how fans reacted. She has got no reaction, good or bad, from the fans. So Last Legend, at some point within next year or the after, she is going to be women's champion. And this is the test run. They're going to do the exact same thing when she goes single. Because she's going to have a single run. She's going to turn on Nia. This is going to be the exact run.
I wouldn't be surprised if Last Legend got a run very similar to Stephanie Vacher. Like parading her out there because she's already shown she can wrestle. There's no question that she can wrestle. She already has the talent. She has the look. The only thing that they're probably not 100% sure on yet is her promo ability. And that's where doing these little promos in the tag team with Nia and things like that gets her comfortable. And then when they decide to break it off, that'll be her time to shine. Because you already know that she can go in the ring. She's got the look. She's got the size. Everything.
Oh, yeah. I think what we're going to see, because the WWE is about the moments. The day that Trick Williams becomes the men's champion, they're going to be the first couple to hold the major titles in the WWE, whether it's on Raw or SmackDown. They're going to be the first couple.
You're going to be waiting a long time on Trick Williams.
It depends.
A long time on Trick Williams.
It depends. It depends on what show he's going to be on in the next few years. He ain't going to be on SmackDown.
No. The personality of his character doesn't fit SmackDown.
No. And this is the same guy. And I say Last Legend because I do believe this is going to happen before who I truly believe is going to be the women's champion. Last Legend be women's champion before Julia. Only because, like you said months ago, her English is not good. And we already see that Kiana James is not going to be with Julia not too much longer. She's going to get her own single push because she is getting over, especially when she had those big ass purses. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Julia's gone as soon as her contract's up.
Just for her. So you believe Julia's going to be like, no.
Yeah, this was a mistake. I'm out.
So you going to
say as sad as that makes me, I would not be surprised at all if she bounces.
Triple H loves Julia.
Yeah, he shows it so much. That probably next to Io, the most talented woman you have in the women's division, and you treat her like she's BFAB.
I hope she didn't lose to B-Fab. That would be worse.
Okay, you treat her like she's a half step better than B-Fab.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And it's in the fact that the Kiana James, who is her mouthpiece, is more over.
That's because they put her in more matches that have meaning than Julia.
Yeah. Yeah. I said it once, I said it again. Julia should went to Raw. Her and Stephanie should continue their feud for NXT. Because they're other EO, your two best wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. And then the four best wrestlers they have are EO, Liv Morgan, Julia, and Stephanie. Hands down. Best actual talent in the ring. Those are your four.
You think Liv Morgan's better than Charlotte Flair?
Yeah. Charlotte can't move like she used to.
Man, I get it.
That and Charlotte gets a lot of love just because of what her last name is. Her matches are never, ever anything spectacular.
Now, the match with her and Rhea at WrestleMania was pretty damn
good. You picked like the one match that was like pretty damn good. But other than that, a lot of her matches are just a lot of old school.
Her and wrestling. Becky was good. Her and Sasha was good. Her and Bayley was good.
Yeah, you're going back to when she could move. You're going back years.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. I said right now.
Yeah, but you said that was only one good match I put out there.
I said she can't move anymore. You're going back years before all the knee surgeries and everything else.
Okay, all right. She might not can't move like she used to. I'm not going to take Liv Morgan over Charlotte Flair in the wrestling ring. I mean, don't get me wrong. Liv came a long way. And look, I seen her little documentary. She got a ring in her.
I'm talking overall wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about
I'm talking everything. How much work have they had to put into Charlotte Flair to get people to even cheer for her one time?
Because she's not likable.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
You had to take another top tier star and stick her in a tag team for a year and a half so far.
Now, whose fault is that?
To cheer for her.
Now,
hers.
For not being likable?
Yeah.
Gunther's not likable, but you ain't putting him no tag team.
Gunther's likable.
His character? Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Are we talking about her character or just her in general outside the ring? That's what I'm trying to.
I mean, I'm sure you could probably go both ways with her. I mean, you go back to the Tiffany Stratton insults. She's been married how many times? I would say you're probably not too likable, but you know.
Oh.
But I'm not even going there. I'm talking about the character as a whole.
Okay, all right. So her character, yes, not likable.
Even now, I would say she's not likable. The only reason is just the playful stuff with Alexa Bliss. But again, it's just like when you had Jade and Bianca. You have one of your top tier stars being wasted away trying to make this other one look half-ass decent. What's Alexa Bliss done since Charlotte Flair came back? Nothing.
Hey, look, what she was supposed to be, never mind, because that would be even worse.
You still have her dressing up like Bray Wyatt and that whole thing, and you have nothing to do with that faction.
Yeah.
Why? Because they want to sell that Lily doll for $100 or whatever they sell it for.
And that's the problem. Because I was about to say, when she came back, she's supposed to be part of the White Six or be a leader of the White Six. No, we're going to have her do her own thing, which is fine. I like Alexa by herself. I also like the old gimmick of Alexa Bliss. Yeah. Where she was just little Miss something.
I don't know.
I can't remember her whole nickname, but she was winning championships. She was winning SmackDown and Raw Women's Championships. Mm-hmm. Now she can't even sniff. Well, she can sniff the title, but as we heard in Jay's interview, having heard other women's interview, the WWE, mainly your best friend Triple H, got all his veteran wrestlers, female, in the tag team division, so that they can make the tag team titles, the women's titles, irrelevant. So he took all his top talent, veteran female wrestlers in that division, where they should be battling for the main title or maybe the IC or United States title.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're telling me this is the only way you can get Alexa, Charlotte, and Bailey on the WrestleMania card by having them being in the tag team division, just fucking release them. Don't use them. Fucking release them. Fuck it. Let them all go. If this the only, if you telling us this is the only way you get them on the show, fucking release them. Let them go to somewhere else. That's a slap in the face. Former champions. And they got to be in the tag team division. Meanwhile, Becky Lynch, who you not a big fan of, character
used to be. I used to be a huge Becky Lynch fan.
You got her battling AJ Lee for the IC title. So you're telling me that you value Becky Lynch over Charlotte Flair, who won the women's title 13, 14 times, over Alexa Bliss, who in my opinion, being punished because she got pregnant and had a baby. And Bailey, you have no direction with the Imperial Line Vicera, and you basically telling their fans that this is the only way we get your favorite wrestler on the WrestleMania card on TV for Raw or SmackDown is by being in the tag team.
Fucking a basically non-existent tag team division on top of it, just like the men.
Yeah. Release them. Let them go.
That's what I keep saying. It's WWE is holding on to a bunch of talent because they're too scared that they're going to have another Swerve Strickland. They're going to release them. They're going to go over to AEW, which you know they all will, and they're going to kill it because they're too good to sit around. Bailey, I wouldn't be surprised if this is her last contract and she bounces to AEW.
Her contract is up towards sometime the end of this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Charlotte got not going to be surprised. Charlotte got another 2 years on her deal. Alexa got another 3.
But again,
well, I could be wrong because now I'm hearing that WWE only signed them cast 3-year deals now, even on the extension.
So I still stand by you. We can make an argument for Charlotte Flair. Charlotte in her prime may be better than Julia, or not Julia, but Liv. But right now, Liv has probably one of the best stories going in all of WWE. And that's due to her own promo ability. She has one of the most unique finishers in the WWE. She kills it on the mic. She's got a look that people love. And her character is that perfect kind of annoying that will always work as a heel.
Yeah. But we also got a...
And when she goes back to being a face, she's going to blow the roof off the place. Oh, she will.
No time soon.
Not soon. But
yeah, she will go face.
Once they
within 6 months, she'll be a face.
Oh, yeah.
Within 6 months, she'll be a face.
And again, we're talking about the women that you just mentioned. That's without Bianca Belair being back, who's one of your top tier talents who people forget about because she hasn't been around for a year.
And who was actually getting the John Cena treatment because they were pushing her down our throats and refused to make her go heel because she sells and she got the hair and all that. Like, all
that. I can't stand the hair thing. I would like Bianca Belair so much more if she didn't have that stupid hair thing going.
Did you see that? It was like it wasn't a commercial, like a promo spot between her and Montez when she had a hat on, she had her hair, it was all done. She had a hat on and he's rubbing it. Then he accidentally took the hat off. He took her wig off, and he was like, and all you see was like her. She had the shocked face. She had a stocking cap on her over her head.
I mean, if she really thinks people think that's real, she's crazy. But
nah. And he was like, "You sold this? Like you sold the hat to the hair?"
No, I did not see that.
Madness. I was like, okay.
Did not see that one.
Oh, man, it's great.
It's WWE has a definite talent problem that they have way too much. This is why I go back to my WCW thing. That would be the best thing for you to do. Create your own competition. And if you want to put the other guys out of business, you absolutely can. But
they tried to put you out of business by trying to buy you a few years ago.
Yeah. And it's like WWE hasn't had real competition from the time they bought WCW. TNA had its moments. TNA was starting to build the following. They had issues with the whole Jeff Jarrett thing and the Dixie Carter thing. And then they got the Hogan Bischoff thing, which completely plummeted the company. They had to try and recover from that. And basically, from the time Hogan got there, WWE again had no competition at all until AEW started. And as we all know, AEW caused NXT to move nights. So they were having success. But again, they were doing it with just pure wrestling. They didn't have a lot of money sunk into storytelling, things like that. WWE, to that whole point, when you don't have competition pushing you to get better, you get very complacent. And I feel that's even now, that's WWE's thing. They know that they're going to pull in X amount of money and they're happy with that. Yeah, they're trying to grow in different markets, blah, 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 blah. But they wouldn't be trying to grow in those markets if they weren't getting the Saudi money. It's because they got handed millions upon millions of dollars to go over there and do that stuff. I mean, look at the stuff that they weren't getting paid for. The tribute to the troop shows that Vince McMahon was so big on. What did they axe? The tribute to the troop shows. They don't do them anymore. But WWE is its own biggest enemy because they don't push themselves to be a quality product.
Yes, that makes sense.
What are you reading over there?
That makes sense. Actually, it was something I read a while back. You know, the WWE did sign somebody to the women's division.
Signed a couple different women to performance center deals.
Yeah, I want to say, was it Nikki Night?
Yeah, that was like a week ago. Then they did Dean Malenko's daughter a couple days ago.
Yes, and they signed some more as of today. They signed some people to their ID, and there would be
the ID stuff I don't care about.
All right, so according to Fightful Select, the WWE and Wrestling Observer, the newest addition to the WWE Women's Division is Notorious Mimi, formerly known as Sloane Jacobs.
Yeah.
Gianna Capri, previously Valentina Rossi. Veronica Haven, formerly as Fallon Gray, excuse me.
Yeah.
And Anna Room, who wants to compete as not going to attempt. Nope, not today. Not mispronouncing nobody's name. So they do got some young women, female wrestlers coming, which are going to evolve in NXT, and we'll see how they turn out in 2 years or so. And Dominic Mysterio signed a 5-year extension.
Well, you know they're not going to let him go anywhere, and he's not going to go anywhere.
Nah, so all thing he knows is WWE.
Yeah.
And there were some talks, rumors, and actually it was something that you had said that I seen it on Angle. This gentleman Angle, he's he does a podcast. He just do news straight out of Detroit, Michigan, and him and Jamie private neighbors don't even know about it. He talked about what you said last week and the week before, is that the WWE basically killed Gunther's legend killer momentum because there's nobody else for him to retire. And especially since if it's true that Rey Mysterio wants to retire at the Clash of Italy and he wants Dominic Mysterio to be his last match, and if Brock Lesnar is not going to retire this year, possibly next year, we don't know for sure.
We'll go into that Brock Lesnar thing in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah. You basically gave this guy the gimmick and it's already over with.
Well, it's not a sustainable gimmick. It was stupid. Like, it's one thing to like bring it up of, oh, he retired John Cena, he retired Goldberg, but don't make that his entire gimmick, because unless you have an entire stream of guys that are going to retire month after month after month, it's not sustainable. When Randy Orton did it, you were bringing in guys that were legends, but they weren't fully retired. The Ric Flairs, the Mick Foleys, guys that were coming in that he could punt kick and, you know, do the concussion angles and all that stuff. So that worked. You're having him retire guys, and you don't have enough guys for him to retire.
Yeah.
You got his little burst momentum out of it, but you did nothing with it. When's the last time Gunther wrestled a match?
It's been about 2-3 weeks. No, Dragon Lee was
Dragon
his
Lee.
last match.
Yeah, that was his last match.
And that was 2 weeks
Dragon
ago.
Lee is killing it, by the way.
Yes. At some point, either he's going to win the AAA title or the IC title.
They need to just, they keep bringing out all these stupid titles, and they're like, oh, we're just going to have tournaments because we don't want to build stories. I keep saying it. They need to bring something out similar to the X Division, or at least a cruiserweight title, and treat it like a main event title. Don't treat it like the IC title. Treat it like a main event title for 225 or under. If you want to make it 240, make it 240. But for the smaller guys, so you could get the Dragon Lees, the Pentas, the Ray Phoenixes, guys like that could go in the ring and actually give you something amazing. I mean, you already saw Penta and Dragon Lee killed it last week.
Mm-hmm. And they might be running it back.
Oh, they have to. It was too good.
So that's one thing I am kind of shocked of, because I remember with WWE, and I don't know, I'm glad they did, but I hate how they did it. When they brought back the Cruiserweight, they gave them their own show, 205.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about doing that. That was dumb.
Yeah. But when I'm saying that was a Triple H baby right there, because we all know how he feels about Cruiserweight wrestling. Just have a Cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
If you just have a Cruiserweight.
Just have a 225. A 225. That's your cap. That way you can get your Carmelos in there, guys like that. You don't want it to all just be a Lucha Libre division, because then it's like you already have AAA. Make it 225. Get your Carmelos in there. Carmelo versus Dragon Lee would be amazing. Carmelo versus any of those guys would be amazing.
Well, just go back what you said. Just bring a light heavyweight title over. Just create one.
That's what I'm saying. Just create a light heavyweight title. Don't call it a cruiserweight title. Just call it a light heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
And treat it like a main event title for the smaller guys. Because again, I don't ever want to see a Big Show Rey Mysterio match ever again. That is the dumbest shit to me. Like, I'll suspend my disbelief to a certain level. I read comic books. I know how to do it. But there's no world that Rey Mysterio is ever going to beat the Big Show.
So there should be no Rey Mysterio versus Gunther match. Don't make sense.
I mean, Gunther's not the size of Big Show, but even still, I don't want to see that either.
No.
When Rey Mysterio is shorter than me. He's like 5'5". I'm 5'8". Gunther's what, like 6'5"? I don't need a guy trying to reach down 2 feet to try and grab somebody. It's just stupid.
Yeah. And along those lines, they really killed this momentum with this gimmick. And no, what I was really about to say before that is that a lot of these guys who are up in age, who are retiring, they have someone who they want to wrestle for their last match. So just putting Gunther out there, like, hey, Gunther should wrestle Brock Lesnar who wrestled last match. Why? Because we all want to see it.
Your number one, maybe number 2 heel. My opinion, he's your number 2 heel because nobody's topping what Drew McIntyre's doing.
No.
Has no plans for WrestleMania.
No. And the one match I do want to see him in, he would have to go to SmackDown and do it.
Not only does he not have a match for WrestleMania, he doesn't even have a direction to build anything up right now. There's nothing going on for Gunther.
Nah. And WrestleMania is in 4 weeks. So they would really have to do fabricated story right now.
They need to give him Ludwig Kaiser back because his downfall is his speaking. He can speak perfectly fine. He just doesn't cut a good promo.
Yeah. And that's why I've been advocating for Ludwig Kaiser to lose.
If what I read is real, he ain't coming back. They're keeping him in AAA for the most part. He's got a Hispanic girlfriend now. Apparently he's worked on his Spanish to where he's like fluent. They're saying that he's going to keep the El Grande Americano gimmick. And I hope he doesn't, because that's going to limit what he can do. And
I feel bad for him. It's cool. He's over in that role, but you wearing a mask. You never was a mask wrestler. That was not part of who you were. So it goes back to what I said about the veteran women in the tag team division. If that's on, let me go. Because he's better than that. You took him away from Gunther. He got Gunther over.
Yeah.
On the mic. and he got himself over. How he went from feuding with Braun Breaker and who was the other guy?
Sheamus.
Sheamus and sometimes Sami Zayn
Mhm.
for the IC title. Then turn around. Hey, we're gonna put this mask on you. Chad Gable, I'm gonna put this mask on you. Now you gonna do the El Grande.
I just want to know when Chad Gable got hurt, who sat around and said, we need to keep the El Grande Americano thing going because he's selling a couple masks for the kids. And okay, I'd be like, all right, cool, because anybody can throw the mask on. But you went and got somebody that's almost a foot taller, and then they tried to play it off of, oh, it's the imposter. Yes, clearly we can all tell that. It's not a secret, but like you tried to tell this story with it, and now you've got they're probably going to get a main event match, or not a main event match, sorry, a WrestleMania match
Oh, they will.
where Gunther ain't even going to be on there. Your top heel basically isn't going to have a match at WrestleMania, but yet you're going to have El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano Original. And then what? If they keep him as a permanent El Grande Americano, you're going to have Chad Gable lose, so he gets unmasked.
But that's the
Like,
problem. Like Chad Gable's back, but where's his faction? Where's his crew? We don't see the Creed brothers.
well,
And
because he
Ivy
hasn't come
Nile,
back as Chad Gable, he's only come back as El Grande
right.
Americano Original.
So if I'm Chad Gable, but think about it, if he lose, you get unmasked as Chad Gable. Okay, but so that
So you're
means
just
that
going right back to that repeated pattern that he's going to lose every time he's out there.
right. So basically, not only that, but his faction is gone. Ivy now is doing her own thing. The Creed brothers, I know they out, but before they got hurt, they were doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
They played that line. Oh well, we waiting on Master Gable to come back. He said that when he comes back, that we got to have gold around our waist. Clearly, they deviated from that.
Well, and even then, you have the smallest faction. You're smaller than the Wyatt Six. You're smaller than the MFTs. Judgment Day is not really a faction.
Huh, it's a clubhouse.
So, like, that's what I mean is there's no, for all the Triple H's long-term storytelling, this, no, he doesn't. He gets convenient things that work out that he can take credit as long-term storytelling. There's no long-term storytelling going on there. Because you booked yourself into this of if it's true that they're trying to keep him as an El Grande Americano permanently, there's no good way to book this.
No, and if
And
I
there's nothing wrong with being a masked wrestler. There's a lot of great Japanese wrestlers that wore a mask. Yushin Liger, probably one of the best of all time. But Ludwig does not need to get trapped into
be
an
a
El
master
Grande
wrestler,
Americano character.
no.
He's too good on the mic. He's got a look. He's just overall too good to be trapped in it.
Yeah, and I get it. Chad Gable got hurt. Chad Gable's had a lot of momentum as El Grande Americano. We could have definitely seen that. Hey, he's about to win the title. He got hurt. He had to go away. Now he's back. But you put Luger in that situation, and Luger Kaiser worked his ass off to get to a certain point where, hey, I can do my thing too, like Gunther. I'm a hell of a wrestler like Gunther. But like you said, you split both of these guys up, they're not doing anything. It's like this is it's like he's trapped in this, and then Gunther has no direction, and the other guy got fired. So this is
I mean,
it's like
I'll
wow.
give Ludwig Kaiser a ton of respect. You took a gimmick that basically nobody else is going to want to deal with. It's not even
Yeah,
an original gimmick. You're taking over for somebody that was basically in a comedy role for the most part,
yeah,
and you've turned it into something that's credible. That
yeah.
they then turned it into a stable for some reason with two other guys that weren't doing anything,
Right.
who
So
again could be part of a light heavyweight division.
right. So it's like he did too good of a damn job where he got to keep the mask on because if you take it off, we ain't gonna give you no push.
Well, and that's the whole problem. It's like you teach your kids, you want to work hard, you want to do this, and then you work too hard, and well, we would love to promote you, but see, you're too good at doing this job, so I need you to stay over here. I need you to come in on Saturday. If you're a fan of Office Space, I need you to come in on Saturday while everybody else is going to go over here and do this and get the better treatment because they didn't have to work as hard. And if he really gets screwed into having to stay as El Grande Americano, I mean, AAA ain't going to be around in 2 years. I believe that firmly because they're not making any money.
I think they'll be around. I don't think they'll be part of the WWE umbrella. That I could see. But I think they'll be around. And finally, last topic. And actually, it's the topic we talked about earlier about the bloodline. Do you see, because now we see friction in the MFTs with Solo and the Tongan brothers, JC, Mateo, Jeff Cobb, really? Do you see Solo joining his brothers and getting back with Roman? Because at this point,
no, I see them trying to do something solo with Solo. As dumb as that just sounded. Yeah. He doesn't fit with the MFTs, first off.
No, he doesn't.
Tama Tonga needs to just take that thing over. But Solo was the enforcer of the bloodline, who somehow became the leader of the bloodline, which made no sense whatsoever. And you're supposed to view him as this like main event threat, even though he's never in a main event. He could very well become, I'm not going to say R-Truth level, but he could become one of your new comedy actors.
When Solo was down at NXT, he was killing it.
Mm-hmm.
When he first introduced into the bloodline as enforcer, he killed it. Solo is more, I'm going to keep it real. Solo is more talented than his brothers.
Oh, 100% he is.
More talented than his brother. He can do a lot more than they can. Not just in the ring, but on the promos, everything.
Well, his promos and his facial skills can tell stories.
Yes.
That the other two can't do.
Right.
Period.
And if I'm the WWE, when they eventually split the MFTs and Solo, I would prefer Solo go to Raw. And I prefer Solo to not be part of the bloodline as far as joining his brothers and Roman, if that's the direction they're going into. I would prefer Solo to do his own thing.
If Roman is not going to be a full-time wrestler, which we all know he's not, it is not in their best interest to bring back the bloodline.
Well, think about it. And I'm not saying you're wrong. Because you, me, and a bunch of other people remember the bloodline and Roman Reigns title run. The reason why I do believe the TKO wants the bloodline back as a faction, but with The Rock, it goes more than just the ratings, and they want to get the viewership. They want to get that back because, having The Rock part of the bloodline and he brings, everything goes up. Let's just keep it real. That's all TKO knows, man. That's all they know. I mean,
what was the thing going on when they bought the company? It was the bloodline.
Right. And they seen how successful that was. Instead of being creative and maybe, start doing other things with other wrestlers, with other factions, and build that up, maybe have like 5-6 storylines on each show that makes totally sense, and maybe that'll help your viewership and all that stuff works. My bad for talking like I'm intelligent, but that's
the bloodline was nothing more than the NWO storyline from WCW.
Right.
Every show was based on the NWO. That was it. Bloodline was the same thing, just told at an even worse pace.
Right.
Because you had a champion that never wrestled.
100%. That's why I advocate they should bring Eric Bischoff back, since they're gonna do all that. But based on what I'm saying is that that's all they know. They don't know anything else.
I mean, if The Rock was to get involved and be involved on a weekly basis, being that I'm committing full time to this right now for a year, 6 months, whatever it is, that's a conversation. But if you're talking about bringing the bloodline back where The Rock's only going to show up for a Raw before a PLE, no. Because you'd have your head guy who's already a known part-time wrestler. That means that you'd have Jey Uso carrying the bloodline, and God, no. Just no.
Part of that rumor I heard allegedly is that they want this so they can finally build up to their match, Roman versus The Rock, Saudi Arabia. And
Nobody
I'll be
needs to
honest with
see
you.
The Rock wrestle. Dude's going to be like 58, 59 years old by the time that happens.
Do
Nobody
I
needs to
need to
see it.
tell you who wants to see him wrestle? This is it.
I almost did it. I'm glad I caught myself at the last second, but
I want you to
I already know
understand.
who it is.
Yeah, understand. Look, as wrestling fans, do we like seeing The Rock on TV? Yes. Do we know he's entertaining? Yes. Do we know he'll bring in money? Yes. Do we want to see a 50-year-old man, over 50-year-old man, wrestle in the ring? No. That match, tag team match he had with Roman, honest to God, I think that was his limit. That's all he can do. Do I want to
I'm a
see
big
him?
believer. Once you leave the business, if you want to come back, so be it. But it is your job to make the other guys look good now. You had your time in the sun.
Yeah.
You're done.
Like Steve Austin made Kevin Owens look great.
Yeah, made Kevin Owens look great in a very
Right.
limited match because Austin didn't want to take a lot of bumps. I don't blame him.
Right.
His body's
And,
broken.
right.
But
And vice
nobody
versa.
needs to see a almost 60-year-old Rock getting out there trying to wrestle. We saw enough in the tag team match to know he's got
That's
one or
it.
two moves. That's it. He needs to be protected. That's fine.
And he did a
He
hell
was
of
in
a
his mid
job.
50s. But The Rock's value is his mouth. Same thing with Chris Jericho. Jericho, I've seen everything that you can do. You still provide a ton of value to get people over with your mouth.
Yeah. Kevin Owens also did a hell of a job against Austin, cover up of what he couldn't do. Kevin Owens did a hell of a job. Here's the problem I have though. I don't think Roman could do that with The Rock.
No, Roman's not good enough.
That's what I don't think he could do that.
Roman's nowhere near good enough.
Now, what
As a
makes
wrestler,
sense?
Kevin Owens is 1,000 times better than Roman Reigns is as a wrestler.
Right. So, with that said, what kind of makes sense is maybe you have Cody and Rock finish their little feud because if you compare the two, Cody, Roman, who's the better wrestler?
Cody.
Right. And Cody will cover some of the things that The Rock can't do. He would carry the match. And like you said, Rock got by two and a half good moves.
But
Cody
again,
can
you
work with
don't
that.
need to have The Rock wrestle to have that feud. Go back to it was a terrible one, but go back to like when it was Vince versus Donald Trump. They each had their wrestler.
I remember that. Yeah.
Bobby Brock,
Lashley.
and then like you could still do that with The Rock. And as The Rock is the heel, should be doing that. No, you're not going to get me in the ring. You can wrestle this guy for me. And that's how they should play that. The Rock never needs to get in the ring ever again.
Yeah. And we already know that if he decides to come back, let me phrase that because he is coming back because the Saudi offering so much money that he couldn't say no. That final boss gimmick is his gimmick. So to me, if they do this right, and I know a lot of people don't want to see this, he can have Roman fight for him, fight Cody.
Well, that's the whole
3.
thing. I'm the final boss. You don't get to the final boss. You line up the guys in front. Hey, I'm going to put you through a gauntlet. You want to get to me? You run through the entire bloodline. Cody gets all the way up to Roman and loses. Done.
Yeah. It works for me.
Cody doesn't need to win every feud he's in. That's what WWE seems to forget.
Oh, no. That's what Triple H seems to forget.
And you can have main event wrestlers that aren't wrestling for a title. You just have to build stories up that matter.
Yeah, I'm a big component of every main eventer don't need to wrestle for a title. Like, for example, you got the hell of a heel in Drew McIntyre. He finna make Jacob Fatu look like a true main event superstar. No title on the line. Learn something.
Or just watch Brock Lesnar. Lesnar is selling his ass off for Obafemi, making Obafemi look even better than he is. But
Thank you.
they're also paying him 7 figures to take those bumps. Like they're paying him a stupid amount of money, but he's going out
Oh
there
yeah.
and he's taking them all
Oh
and
yeah.
making Oba look massive.
Oh yeah. I love every bit of it.
But the match is still happening a year too soon. Unless he said that he's done and he doesn't want to wrestle anymore. Like I said before, if Brock said this is my final WrestleMania, I'm done. Okay,
it
then
makes sense.
you have to force the hand and you have to make it happen. If Brock, I would already, hey Brock, are you willing to wrestle next year at WrestleMania? Yes. Okay, this is the plan. You're gonna wrestle Obafemi next WrestleMania. We're gonna spend this next year and a half almost building Oba up to look like an absolute monster to get to you. That's your retirement match. It's going to give him a year to get better in the ring with top tier talent, make him look like a monster to where you have one of your biggest matches of all time in Lesnar, who's already an established world breaker star, and Obafemi, who that's who you need to be putting all your money on, looking like an absolute world breaker and a star, and having that match. But instead, they're like, oh, we have to rush the plans and get Oba out there now. Now, if Brock says he's done, okay, then you have to do it. But if he's not, and they're forcing it now, you're screwing everything up long run. Because after you beat Brock Lesnar, what do?
You go down. You go
You gonna
downhill
wrestle
after
Roman
that.
Reigns? What when he
There's
decides to
nobody
come
else.
back?
There's
That's
nobody
my
else.
point. There's nobody else. You're gonna go from beating Brock Lesnar to maybe getting into a feud with Gunther. That's not gonna help Obafemi. That's not gonna
It's
help
not gonna
Gunther.
go through either. It's not gonna need the guy.
Exactly.
So
So
my
like
so my
you're
question
blowing
is
your
this.
load right at the beginning. Like
So my question is this. So if this is Lesnar last WrestleMania, and let's say he retires in Minneapolis, Minnesota for SummerSlam, who will be his opponent? It can't be
for Summer,
Gunther because Obafemi going over gonna beat him. So it can't be Gunther. It don't make sense. There's no momentum there. And then so
uh,
you run it back with Oba?
the rumor that was out there is that Brock didn't want to lose any matches until his
Right,
final match.
right.
So you could make a case, and I know I could tell a compelling story of having Brock beat Obafemi,
Yes.
and it
And
would
then
make sense and it would be a good story. And then you would run it back at SummerSlam and have Oba win. But I don't trust WWE to do that and make it look good. I mean,
you
you don't
don't.
have to look back far. Look how they handled their biggest star of all time and how they jumbled that up. You had John Cena absolutely get destroyed by Brock Lesnar for no reason whatsoever. None. Even from a storytelling perspective, you're like, okay, that did nothing to help anybody. Because again, Brock is he's a
Brock
showcase
knew.
piece.
Yeah.
He's not there to win titles and be there on a weekly basis. When he's getting paid like he is right now, he shows up on every Raw and he
Mm-hmm.
sells his ass off.
Yeah.
But he's not a guy that you're putting the title on and saying, okay, you got to carry this for 6 months.
Yeah. Not anymore anyway.
No, not anymore.
Nah. It that goes back to what we always say. WWE put themselves in creative hole because of the decisions that they make. And my whole thing is that these two gonna be at WrestleMania, and you want to, and knowing WWE, they're gonna do all they can to protect Oba, and vice versa, do all they can to protect Brock. They want both guys to look good. So my thinking is, you just have a count out or this double disqualification. If you want to protect and make both guys look good, and Brock don't want to lose, but yet you don't want Oba to lose his first Mania, do it that way, so that they can run it back at SummerSlam, but it'll be something on the line.
Mm-hmm.
It makes totally sense to me.
But again, if Brock's not ready to retire yet and he was willing to go to the next WrestleMania, you guys are screwing this up big time. But if he did say
Well,
that
maybe,
he's going to be done, cool. This
oh,
could still work.
oh, how about this? Because we like I said, the Saudis got unlimited money, and they're gonna offer all their favorite wrestlers all this money, and Brock Lesnar is one of the guys they love to see, right? So let's say they ain't gonna run it back with Oba and Brock. That's done. Hear me out on this one. What if they decided go do what you said, and let's build it up for a year? But what if it could be? I'm just going to throw a name out there. Let's say Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar. Let it build up for a year. Had that match at WrestleMania next year. Look, both guys is not going to go 15 minutes, 10 minutes, or 12 minutes. It'll probably be like a 7-minute match. It'll be Brock's biggest payday. It'll be his last match. He'll lose because he said he shouldn't lose all the way up to his last match. That'll be the match you lose. You're not. Braun Breaker is already over, but if you really want to get him over, he will beat a retiring Brock Lesnar. Because I will say Gunther, but you fucked that up already. It would make no sense.
That the way they try to portray Braun Breaker of being this big monster, putting him against Brock Lesnar is not going to help that. That's the problem. The perception you've tried to build is that Braun Breaker is the biggest guy in the ring and that he's this monster super athlete freak. And against Brock, he ain't going to look like that. And it's going to kind of kill that. And that's the problem.
That's true. But if they just do it differently, like, hey, he's the biggest dog in his yard. And dogs come in different sizes. So
but they would have to spend time, and I don't think WWE is smart enough to build it up like that. If you can't tell by now, I have very little faith in them to do anything right. And you don't have to look more than yesterday to see the track record of that.
Oh, yeah, I know that. And look, I'm still on the train that I want to see Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov because that's a built-in story that's already there. They haven't finished that story because Gunther is the reason why Ilya was hurt. He's been out for a while. That story to be finished. You don't have to fabricate it. It's right there. You have Gunther show up on SmackDown and do the little talking he can just to get under Ilya's skin. That's a built-in story. That's a story that can be finished up at WrestleMania.
When's the last time you saw Gunther wrestle CM Punk?
SummerSlam.
When's the last time you saw him wrestle Roman Reigns?
Who, Gunther?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Exactly.
And we probably won't see that.
And yet you let CM Punk beat Gunther.
Yep.
What sense does that make? Your biggest heel, second biggest heel, depending on however you want to look at it. Again, back to no direction for WrestleMania. Your biggest heel or second biggest on that show by far, supposed to be, isn't involved in a title match. In like the world heavyweight title match. And he's not in a grudge match. He should be in the title match unless he's in some sort of grudge match. Right now, he has no direction whatsoever.
If I remember correctly, dude never got a rematch for losing his title.
Mm-mm.
But let me ask you this, though. Because I'm glad you said CM Punk versus Gunther at last year's SummerSlam. If they would have, let's say if it was Seth Rollins, would you still feel the same way? Seth Rollins beating Gunther?
I would still feel the same way because you need to do something to make this guy credible. Like, he has to win. Especially because you go on about his historic Intercontinental title run. What has he done since then? Nothing.
See, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking, like, how can a guy hold a title for 668 days and you make him the world's heavyweight title and he sniffed nowhere close to 4 months as your champion?
And you had him lose to Jey Uso. Of all people, Jey Uso. If you go back in just a year's worth of time, you've done a lot more harm to Gunther than you've done good. Because again, beating John Cena, nobody cares. Beating Goldberg, nobody cares. They're all matches that they were expected to lose because they were retirement matches. Beating AJ Styles, nobody cares. Unless you're going to put on a match that is like all-time 5-star, just completely knocks it out of the park, nobody's going to care that you had their retirement match with them.
You remember, it goes back to, I'm going to see if you remember this. You remember John Cena fought Austin Theory? And I try to forget it all the time. You remember when he told Austin Theory, beating me will be bad for your career? Something along those lines, those words.
Yeah.
That rang true for Gunther.
Because there's expectations that come along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Solo Sikoa beat John Cena. What'd they do with that? Nothing.
Yeah. So that's our show today, ladies and gentlemen. God, you know, I love wrestling. I love wrestling talk with my brother here. It's just so much fun. It's like the passion, the love that we have for professional wrestling is so deep that I can tell by him and myself, I get so disappointed because the wrestling that we used to love, or the company we used to love more than anything, just don't live up to expectations no more. And because of that, that's why we miss ECW. We miss WCW. That's why we watch a lot of the indies, because we get just to get that feeling back of how special wrestling is, where you have two companies don't give you what you really need to be fulfilled as a wrestling fan. And that breaks my heart every day. Every time I say watch the WWE, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, the Dynamite Collision, I can't ever be satisfied. I can't be fulfilled because they're not giving me everything. It's like they give me a little bit of tease. It's like when a guy sees a girl, sees a woman, she shows a little leg, like, damn, that's it. That's not fulfilling. Or you know what I'm saying? Or we eat a steak and we can't wait for that, eat that steak, and we get that steak and we eat it, but look at it like, damn, I'm not even full. That's not even fulfilling.
Well, let's leave it on a somewhat positive note for WWE, because I could sit here and shit on them about basically anything that company does at any given time. But they at least got a Hall of Fame selection right. You got Sid finally in the Hall of Fame. One of my absolute favorite wrestlers. Dude had a look like, I'm the master and ruler of the world. Just one sentence, and it worked for his character because the dude was imposing. Like 6'10", just solid muscle. Great power bomb. Wasn't scared to power bomb the big guys, unlike Kevin Nash. He would do it. Just a great wrestler. Not the best on the mic, but didn't need to be because of the character that he was. He's a 6'10" monster. But he was great. Great matches with Hogan. Great matches. 2-time champion WCW. 2-time champion WWE. Should have had the title a lot more than that. The Arn Anderson thing kind of screwed him over in WCW, but either way, just happy to see that he got in because he is one of my favorites.
Yes. And everybody in the state of Arkansas is so excited about that because, Sid should have been a Hall of Famer a long time ago. And I hate the fact that he got to the Hall of Fame and he passed away, and he's not here to talk about his experiences in wrestling. That's the only part I hate, that he got in, but he passed away. They waited too long to induct him into the Hall of Fame.
The one thing about him too is that he was a businessman. He was very much like the Brock Lesnar before Brock Lesnar.
Yes, he was.
You want him to lose? I'll lose. Just pay me.
Yes.
He was very much like, you'd hear him do interviews outside of wrestling. It was like, I'll do anything. You want me to get beat up? I'll get beat up by 10 guys. You just got to pay me. And like, he operated it like he was a business. And then same thing as Brock Lesnar. Like, he negotiated. He's making 7 figures for that WrestleMania match.
Yes.
And that's why you see him taking these crazy bumps and making Oba look like an absolute freak.
I can imagine if he comes back next year, how much he's going to make at Saudi.
Oh, yeah.
But with Sid, And you're right, Sid was a businessman. Because look, let's keep it real. I mean, realistically, none of these guys can't beat Sid. So if you want me to get beat up or lose to some guys who I know they can't, that's not on my level. Yeah, you got pony up, pony up. Because if you want to make sense for him, yeah, okay, you gotta throw some money on there. Because not because him losing to a everybody's favorite wrestler, a Shawn Michaels, it don't make sense.
Mm-mm.
That's like that's like the Rey Mysterio and Kevin Nash. That don't make no sense. So yeah, he was a businessman. And one thing about Sid and I don't know is that Sid loved softball. So
Yes, he did.
he loved his softball. So when you wonder like, why Sid not here in the middle of this field that he's in? Oh, it's softball season. You are not going to see Sid to add to softball season.
There's an old video. I don't know. I haven't tried to look it up, but this is like back when YouTube was still new. There was a video of him smacking a softball and actually smacking the leather off the ball because he hit it so hard.
Wow.
But yeah, he loved his softball. Was starting to get like main event status too when he broke his leg in that match in WCW, which I haven't tried to look that one up in a long time. I'm sure the video's still up there, but I don't think they're gonna show the leg break, like because that was nasty.
Yeah, it was, man. It was
That was
nasty.
nasty. I remember watching that. I could tell you we were sitting in Jay's kitchen like all those years ago. Watch that happen.
Sid is from Marion, Arkansas. Not too
Mhm.
far from Ramen, by some hours. But just give everybody an example how big he was. Sid was 6'9", 317 pounds. He didn't look like he was 317. The man was built like a freaking train. Like you seen no fat on his body. And just like Jamie said, he was Brock Lesnar before Brock Lesnar, even in size and everything. He was just a bigger version of Brock Lesnar, height wise.
Mhm.
And this guy went through all the territories, and he's mainly known in the Memphis territory area because he's from Arkansas. So it's it hurts that he's not here because he died back in 24. But I'm happy that he's in the Hall of Fame, and I stand by what I said. I wish he was here to accept his Hall of Fame and his speech and to tell his story. Like we don't know Sid's story. Like we had to go on Wikipedia to get his story, or at the Hall of Fame, we have to wait to one of his sons or a former ally of his to tell us about Sid.
Mhm.
And that's the part that sucks. But I'm looking forward to the Hall of Fame. If there's anything I'm gonna watch that weekend, it's definitely gonna be that. And congratulations to all the men and women who are in the Hall of Fame. But like I said, Sid should have been in a long time ago. It just I get tired of this. Well, it's so many wrestlers and we've got so many spots. Nah, Sid should have been in like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe 15. He should have been in a long time ago. The guy played Psycho Sid, killed that gimmick. The
And you know
guy
he had to
was,
be pretty good when Shawn Michaels was willing to lose the title to him.
yeah, yeah,
And Bret Hart.
right,
Took it from both
right,
of them.
right. So that's the show. Next week, we will probably talk about, well, more likely, me and Jamie going to talk about some of our Sid matches. Actually, we will be talking about the Hall of Famers and some of their matches that we like. Um, and some more wrestling news. We won't be covering Raw, SmackDown, AEW like that. We already know it was on the road to WrestleMania. But as I tell you guys all the time, if something interesting happens on the show, we will talk about it. But we're not going to sit here and give you everything the whole card because it's really nothing to talk about on Raw, SmackDown, Collision 8, or Dynamite. Only a few good matches here and there that's kind of entertaining that we think that has potential to be something special. So that's what we'll talk about. Any last words?
No. And if you don't like what we're talking about, join us live and then type something in. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Remember, like, subscribe, and share our show. And thank you guys for tuning in. This is DS Walk. That's my brother Jamie. This is Signatures and Finishers podcast. And we up out here. Peace.
Later.